Okay, welcome to week 4 of Creative Experiences. In this module, we are talking about sound and how children can perceive sound, different milestones they can reach, different things they can learn when it comes to sound. So I was instructed to pick out 5 different items randomly in home space, workspace, school space, anything like that. So our first item that we have just found around are some markers. So you can kind of imagine what these are going to be for drumming or tapping or all of that. Kids love to drum on things, so it's very common. We like to make a lot of noise. I would recommend this for, slightly older children just because there are some small pieces that they could swallow. So definitely, adult supervision, but otherwise safe for kids. I would say around age 4 plus, 4 or higher. Now with this, we're doing a lot of tapping, we're making a lot of sounds. They can learn rhythm, so we can have muscle memory if they want to learn a certain rhythm. That would be very good as well. Knowing rhythm, tempo, hearing the difference between this and that, it's a whole bunch of different things that they can reach. The next thing that we have is a salt shaker. Now you can imagine this could be used as a rattle. If you can hear that, I can. But you've got a rattle or a maraca, that can be used just to make that soft shaking sound in the background. Very fun. Our other object is a cup, just a simple cup. Now that salt shaker is pretty safe for any age with supervision. Same with a cup, there's not really any small pieces. They're not going to swallow this. The most they could probably do is just put their hand in it. But this is a good thing for echoes. So that is good for that. Same thing, improvising, just, to make simple songs or patterns, coordinating their actions of blowing into a cup, that makes music. You're keeping a steady beat. That's another thing we have. Even paper. This is just a stack of flyers, but that makes sound, so you can have that bass sound in the background if you're trying to make a song. Things like that. We're creating original rhythms as well. And then our last thing, this is not super random, but it's a little random. We have this air conditioner, and that makes sound as well. That's, good for also to act as a rattle or something to shake. So what all of these have in common is that they can make music. They can make sounds that children can play around with. We have a lot of that in our cognitive development. We have symbolic thinking. We're understanding that objects can represent instruments. You can also have pattern recognition. You can reproduce the same sounds over and over, or you can mix them up. Cause and effect, another thing that kind of relates to a little bit of science. You do one thing, something else happens. You blow into a cup, it echoes back to you. Echoes are the best thing that you can teach kids because they are so fun for a child to learn. You also have a lot of physical development in here, like fine motor skills, using their fingers or small extremities to make music, or even their nails. You can just tap on the counter. When I was a kid, I loved to hear people typing on computers, and it was just that's what that sound makes. Even gross motor coordination, just they're moving their bodies in time with sounds. They're making sounds. As well as social development. It's not very often that I have seen a young child making music by themselves. I normally hear it with very small children in groups. So they have a lot of social collaboration. They get to take turns, listen to what other rhythms other kids have made. They can form a band. That's super cute. It's great for self-expression, gaining their confidence, trying not to care so much about what people think, just little small lessons that are actually big lessons, but to a child, it's on a different scale. But yeah, markers, salt shaker, cup, flyers and that rattle air conditioning thing, all of those can really help with different sounds that you can make with just loose parts in general.